33. The Grave Song.
This is the third chapter in a row that is titled as a song, showing us that Zarathustra is still undergoing a crisis and trying to figure out his feelings. His mood seems to get darker and darker, and here he sings a solemn and grave song. Literally a grave song.
Yonder is the grave island, the silent isle, yonder also are the graves of my youth. Thither will I carry an evergreen wreath of life. Resolving thus in my heart did I sail o'er the sea.
This has echoes of the Odyssey, where the hero, on his sea travels, visits the land of the dead. But this is of course metaphorical. What Zarathustra calls the graves of his youth are the ideas he once had, and grew out of. He wants to revisit these ideas. And he says something more. He wants to bring life to them. We will have to read further and see what he means.
O ye sights and scenes of my youth, O all ye gleams of love, ye divine fleeting gleams, how could ye perish so soon for me? I think of you today as my dead ones. From you, my dearest dead ones, cometh unto me a sweet savour, heart-opening and melting. Verily it convulseth and openeth the heart of the lone seafarer.
Zarathustra talks about sailing, but he is actually taking a trip down memory lane. He remembers the things he used to believe in, and it brings a wave of nostalgia and other things that make him emotional.
Still am I the richest and most to be envied, I, the lonesomest one, for I have possessed you, and ye possess me still. Tell me, to whom hath there ever fallen such rosy apples from the tree as have fallen unto me? Still am I, your love's heir and heritage, blooming to your memory with many-hued wild-growing virtues, O ye dearest ones. Ah, we were made to remain nigh unto each other, ye kindly strange marvels, and not like timid birds did ye come to me and my longing, nay, but as trusting ones to a trusting one.
Zarathustra's philosophy is a philosophy of growth, in which he sheds part of himself in order to allow other parts to grow. This means that he has to outgrow some of his ideas and leave them behind. But they are still part of him, in that they were the spiritual content from which he forged his new ideas. Therefore, they are still dear to him, and he talks of them as of a spouse, someone you remain faithful to, and expect fidelity from.
Yea, made for faithfulness like me, and for fond eternities, must I now name you by your faithlessness, ye divine glances and fleeting gleams. No other name have I yet learned. Verily too early did ye die for me, ye fugitives, yet did ye not flee from me, nor did I flee from you. Innocent are we to each other in our faithlessness.
And yet, despite this mutual fidelity, they parted ways. This is not just about outgrowing these ideas. Zarathustra feels that the emotional connection he had to these ideas has been severely harmed, as if there was a betrayal involved. It's as if he realized that his ideas were actually bad ideas. Then again, he adds that the fault is not in the ideas, nor does it lie with him. Someone else is responsible for the souring of the relationship. Who can it be?
To kill me did they strangle you, ye singing birds of my hopes. Yea, at you, ye dearest ones, did malice ever shoot its arrows, to hit my heart. And they hit it, because ye were always my dearest, my possession and my possessedness. On that account had ye to die young and far too early. At my most vulnerable point did they shoot the arrow, namely at you, whose skin is like down, or more like the smile that dieth at a glance.
Zarathustra is expressing one of the biggest fears of every thinker, that their ideas would be twisted by others and used to promote things that they despise. This, apparently, is what happened to his old ideas, and this is why he can't fully love them anymore. They have been defiled.
But this word will I say unto mine enemies, what is all manslaughter in comparison with what ye have done unto me? Worse evil did ye do unto me than all manslaughter. The irretrievable did ye take from me. Thus do I speak unto you, mine enemies. Slew ye not my youth's visions and dearest marvels? My playmates took ye from me, the blessed spirits. To their memory do I deposit this wreath and this curse.
Who are his enemies? Why, it's all the people he spoke of until now. The priests, the pitiful, the tarantulas, and all the other enemies of life. Zarathustra vowed not to hate them, but only to ignore them and blaze his own path. But, as it turns out, it is not that easy. They have taken his ideas, twisted them, and turned them against life. They succeeded in harming his happiness, hurt him where it hurts the most. And so, he curses them.
This curse upon you, mine enemies. Have ye not made mine eternal short, as a tone dieth away in a cold night? Scarcely, as the twinkle of divine eyes, did it come to me, as a fleeting gleam. Thus spake once in a happy hour my purity, divine shall everything be unto me. Then did ye haunt me with foul phantoms. Whither hath that happy hour now fled? All days shall be holy unto me, so spake once the wisdom of my youth, verily the language of a joyous wisdom. But then did ye enemies steal my nights, and sold them to sleepless torture. Whither hath that joyous wisdom now fled?
In his youth, Zarathustra vowed to love everything about earthly life. This is what he called joyous wisdom, which brings to mind the title of his previous book, The Joyful Wisdom, also known as the gay science. But this is not the idea expressed in that book. The idea of gay science is to learn to love earthly life, although it admits that there are things that could not be loved, and should simply be ignored. This, apparently, is an earlier idea, from a more naive time, when he believed that it is actually possible to love everything. But then he encountered his enemies, and all the ugly things that they do, and realized that he cannot love everything.
Once did I long for happy auspices. Then did ye lead an owl monster across my path, an adverse sign. Whither did my tender longing then flee? All loathing did I once vow to renounce. Then did ye change my nigh ones and nearest ones into ulcerations. Whither did my noblest vow then flee? As a blind one did I once walk in blessed ways. Then did ye cast filth on the blind one's course, and now he is disgusted with the old footpath.
It's basically the same sentiment as the previous segment, except there he talked about his vow to love everything, and here he talks about his vow not to hate anything. That vow, too, has been made impossible. The behavior of his enemies has been so vile and despicable that he finds it very hard not to hate them and their deeds.
And when I performed my hardest task, and celebrated the triumph of my victories, then did ye make those who loved me call out that I then grieved them most. Verily it was always your doing. Ye embittered to me my best honey and the diligence of my best bees. To my charity have ye ever sent the most impudent beggars. Around my sympathy have ye ever crowded the incurably shameless. Thus have ye wounded the faith of my virtue. And when I offered my holiest as a sacrifice, immediately did your piety put its fatter gifts beside it, so that my holiest suffocated in the fumes of your fat.
Not only that, but his enemies also destroyed his relationships with other people. He does everything with a pure heart, wanting to bestow his treasures upon others and increase their happiness. But his enemies poison the waters, twist his intentions, and bring everything back to their level of pettiness. Thus, others fail to enjoy the gifts he brings them.
And once did I want to dance as I had never yet danced. Beyond all heavens did I want to dance. Then did ye seduce my favourite minstrel. And now hath he struck up an awful, melancholy air. Alas, he tooted as a mournful horn to mine ear. Murderous minstrel, instrument of evil, most innocent instrument. Already did I stand prepared for the best dance, then didst thou slay my rapture with thy tones.
As we have seen, Zarathustra regards dancing as an expression of the highest form of existence, when you defeat the spirit of gravity and feel elevated and giddy. But to get the most out of the dance, one needs good music to dance to, and he accuses his enemies of destroying music. Nietzsche, in his writings, discusses 19th century romantic music at length, and decries the direction it took in his time, from music that expressed Dionysian ecstasy to morose and glutinous music. This is probably what Zarathustra is complaining about here.
Only in the dance do I know how to speak the parable of the highest things, and now hath my grandest parable remained unspoken in my limbs. Unspoken and unrealized hath my highest hope remained, and there have perished for me all the visions and consolations of my youth.
Zarathustra has been feeling for a while that something new had awakened in him, something that wants to express itself. He cannot find the words to express it, so he must use song and dance to do so. But with the dance being stifled by the decay of music, he has no venue of expression. And so, with his old ideas all defiled, and incapable of expressing the new idea growing inside him, he feels defeated and miserable.
How did I ever bear it? How did I survive and surmount such wounds? How did my soul rise again out of these sepulchres?
This is it. This is the moment we've been building up for. One of the key moments in the book, one of the major turning points. Reaching a dead end, Zarathustra turns to self-reflection. Is there anything that his condition can teach him, and which can serve as a starting point for a new path? He notes that he has been taking this abuse from his enemies for a while, and yet he survived. He asks himself, what is that power in me that took me through all these trials?
Yea, something invulnerable, unburyable is with me, something that would rend rocks asunder. It is called my will. Silently doth it proceed, and unchanged throughout the years. Its course will it go upon my feet, mine old will. Hard of heart is its nature and invulnerable.
Until now, he told us that everything in him is subject to change and growth. But now, he concludes that there is something in him that remains unchanged, and serves as his rock. That thing is his will. The will had a special place in 19th century Romantic thought, especially in the work of Arthur Schopenhauer, who regarded the will as the thing that we are made of, that all nature is made of. The will, according to Schopenhauer, is an insatiable drive that always wants something, and drives every living being in a constant quest to quench all the different wants. Because of this, nature is violent, and we all suffer from permanent dissatisfaction and strife. The ultimate goal, for Schopenhauer, was to find a way to transcend the will, achieve a state where you are no longer plagued by it. Nietzsche was heavily influenced by Schopenhauer in his early writings, but even then, you could sense a difference, as he regarded the will as mostly a positive thing. Here, Zarathustra praises his will as the thing that took him through all of life's trials and tribulations. Before, he regarded his pride as the thing that overcame all the hardships. But pride is merely an emotion. The will is more than that. It is a driving force, something that is intrinsic to him. He didn't realize it until now, but now he makes it central to his new worldview.
Invulnerable am I only in my heel. Ever livest thou there, and art like thyself, thou most patient one. Ever hast thou burst all shackles of the tomb. In thee still liveth also the unrealizedness of my youth, and as life and youth sittest thou here hopeful on the yellow ruins of graves. Yea, thou art still for me the demolisher of all graves. Hail to thee, my will, and only where there are graves are there resurrections. Thus sang Zarathustra.
Until now, the Superman was the central idea of Zarathustra's worldview. But his worldview has reached an impasse, and has to be surpassed. We are not going to hear about the Superman for a long while. For now, we will focus on creating a new worldview based on the will. Zarathustra describes himself as the opposite of Achilles, who was invulnerable in every part of his body except his heel. He, on the other hand, admits to being a softie. All the big talk about not caring of what others say is revealed to be hiding an emotional and caring soul. He is vulnerable all over, but there is part of him that is strong. It is his will, which he locates in his heel, the heel that stamps all that hurts him, and uses it to climb even higher. With this will, he now intends to create a new worldview that will make him happy again. And for that, he must find a way to also save his memories, his past ideas, and make them happy memories again. He can't be completely happy as long as they are defiled. First things first, though. He made the will the center of his new worldview, but the idea of the will, as portrayed by Schopenhauer and others, does not exactly concord with the way he experiences it. He must explicate this driving force inside him, flesh out what its attributes are, and purify it from the false traits attributed to it by others. Perhaps even give it a different name. And he gets to it right away, in the next chapter. Enough singing. It's time to go back to philosophy.